they're on a roll, and Sudsy, well, what a year he's had. 17 starters have gone down. Just broke a 6-game losing streak with a big win over Edmonton last weekend. And he's hoping to get his first winning season in 3 as a head coach.
He's pretty excited because he's starting to get some of those injured players back at the right time, Mark, to make a run for the playoff stretch.
All right, the Rough Riders winning the toss and electing to receive and taking the win here. To start this game, Paul Osbaldiston, nursing a groin injury, will kick off for the Ticats, sending it deep. And it's Kenny Wilhite. No, Denal will take it over the 40. He's got a break over the 50-yard line and knocked down at center field. What a break for the Rough Riders, and good field position as Joe Montfort finally brings down Dave Denal.
Dave Denal with a great return, getting a chance to get on the roster and setting up David Archer. Good field position at center field for his 1st and 10.
David Archer, the 4th leading passer in the Canadian Football League, had a sluggish game last weekend against Regina, pulling it out, though, in the dying minutes with 2 quick touchdowns and an 18-16 win. And here he is at quarterback, 1st and 10 at center field. Gives to Troy Mills off the left side, but all kinds of traffic, and Montfort once again leading a gang of Ticat tacklers. Here's the Rider offensive lineup, and big Chuck Este at right guard, helping the Rough Rider line, which was collapsing up the middle, allowing 5 to 6 sacks a game. He'll be expected to bolster that. And Troy Mills, of course, had 2,000 yards rushing and passing 2 years ago with Archer in Sacramento. He'll be counted on big time today. 2nd down, about 7 to go for the Rough Riders. Archer in the shotgun, all kinds of time. Dumps it off to Mills, over the middle. He's got 1st down territory and more. Down over the 35, into the 30, and deep into Hamilton territory. Troy Mills introducing himself big time.
Good coverage by the Hamilton secondary. All the receivers were covered. Troy just happened to slip out just at the last minute as Archer looks downfield, goes to his 3rd receiver. No, finds Mills right over the top, gets a little bit of block. Poor tackling by number 53, Mumford in the middle, allows Mills to do exceptionally well once he catches the ball. What he does after that catch is superb.
23 yards to gain on that play for Mills. Once again, he gets the give, goes around the left side. Knocked down after a gain of about 3 as he goes out of bounds. Looked like young Justin Ring, the rookie from Simon Fraser, got a hand on him.
Having a chance to talk with David Archer yesterday, and he said it is crucial that I have a good rushing game. You don't want to go in and think you have to force it, but when I have Troy in the backfield, if I can rush with him, it sets up my play action.
Archer has been translating much of the terminology in the Rough Rider offense to Troy Mills, converting it to what he was used to down in the States, and boy, they're on the same page so far here.
Well, it is a bilingual province here.
Here's Archer with time again. Over the middle, it's Mills. Mills with another big gain and another 1st down for Ottawa to the 15. Hitchcock making the tackle on Troy Mills, who's having a field day on this Hamilton defense. Gonzalo Floyd has been credited by Sudsy as the man who's picked up this front 4, but he's having a hard time today. There's Justin Ring. We mentioned him, the rookie from Simon Fraser, and another rookie, Jason Kaiser, coming in for the injured Ken Norton in the secondary, but that Ticat defense has been porous so far. 1st down at the 15. Archer giving the Mills. He's been a one-man show so far, and he gets 6, maybe 7 before he's piled up. Tom Gerhardt making the tackle, and now Archer having words with Floyd. This Ottawa team pumped up. They haven't been used to playing before big crowds. They're expecting 25 to 28 here today. You see the emotions flaring already.
Well, you need this kind of spirit in there. It's exciting. You see your quarterback, he's willing to get in there, throw his body around, but just be calm, keep cool, David. Everybody gets excited when you see your quarterback go in there, want to start a fight and mouth off to somebody. Now come back, get everybody settled, execution.
This Rough Rider team playing with some swagger now on this 2-game winning streak, the longest winning streak since 1992. Archer fumbles the snap. And it looks like Ottawa may have gotten down in time in that pileup, and once again, Stevenson and Campbell shove and push. Lots of trash talk and tempers flaring here early in Ottawa.
Mike Campbell, yeah, undoubtedly the leader on that defense. He's going to get people fired up, and he's going to make things happen defensively for the Ticats.
Offside, Hamilton number 90, 1st down Ottawa.
So Floyd is called offside. Ottawa will have first down now. First and goal to go as John Payne looks on from the Ottawa bench.
John Payne complimented David Archer so much of having 50% of the game plan is up to what he wants to put in. John Payne says, I've always been an offensive coordinator. I've never been a quarterback. It is great to have a guy that is so knowledgeable like David Archer.
First down just inside the 5 of Hamilton. Archer rolling to his right. He's got a man open, but oh, what a great catch. Joe Rogers going up high. You know, last week he had problems reaching because of the shoulder injury, but there he gets it and brings it in for the Ottawa touchdown.
What an impressive drive by David Archer. He comes out and he's got Rogers just sliding out to the flat, throws the ball a little off balance, but look at the effort and the athletic ability of Joseph Rogers. Goes up high, comes back inside, makes the catch for his 6th touchdown of the season.
Twice last week he had trouble bringing in the pass, reaching up high because of the shoulder problem, but he looks fit today.
Mark David said, I have to get him involved in the game quickly, and if I do, he can have a good day to this afternoon.
With the convert, Ottawa up 7-0, scoring on their first drive here at Frank Bear Stadium.
Because the world can be a big, scary place. The Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
It was harvest time when a terrible accident changed John Paul's life forever. He was playing near a grain auger and fell.
On the 4-yard pass from David Archer and his 6th touchdown of the season.
Just to the right of your screen, he gets a little bit of a peck on the inside. He's wide open, miscue of defense for Hamilton, but he makes a great athletic catch, goes up high, turns the body around, gets it in for the major. That's the way to finish a drive.
Rogers capping off a drive that was led by Troy Mills, a 55-yard drive, 47 of those yards by Mills, 35 through the air and 12 on the ground. Here's Wayne Lamley to kick off for Ottawa with the wind, sending it deep. Andrew Brigg over the 20-yard line, around Djokovic, and forced out of bounds by Sean Reed. A good run back for Hamilton in decent field position going into the wind as Anthony Cavillo leads out the offense. Cavillo, only 398 yards passing, has not had much game experience. Coming in for the injured Matt Dunnigan, missing 6 weeks with a pulled hamstring, and now back the consensus #1 from Don Southern to lead this team.
Well, Don said vehemently that the fact is a player does not lose his job because of an injury. That's why he's here, and Kerrigan's on the sideline.
Mike Kerrigan, last week leading the Cats to that big win over Edmonton. He's on the sidelines as the backup. And a swift shot to the far side. Mike Saunders making his first appearance for the Cats, and he gets the opening pass of the game. The Ticats on offense, anchored on that offensive line by the import, Dwayne Morgan. The Cats with 2 Americans now on that offensive line. And there's Mike Saunders, obtained this week in a trade from Montreal. Only 3 days of practice, and he looks sharp so far with that opening catch from Cavillo. It'll be 2nd down and about 4 for the Ticats at about the 32-yard line. Cavillo this time handing off to Saunders around the outside, and Dwayne Knight grabs him and puts him out of bounds. Right at that first down marker. Dwayne Knight pumped up on that Ottawa defense.
Knight being one of the more explosive linebackers in this league. Very animated and covers a lot of ground. 6'2", about 215, goes sideline to sideline, and this time he's got to get outside to take the swift. Mike Saunders out of bounds, forcing a punting situation.
Kept this Ottawa defense has really come alive in recent weeks. They have not allowed a touchdown in the past 2 games. And right away, they force Hamilton into a punting situation. Osbaldiston, averaging just over 45 yards a punt, will be putting this one into a win. And Ottawa, Wilhite and Gordon just over their 45-yard line. They'll have good position.
Yeah, David Archer should have really good field position to start this first drive again.
Osbaldiston gets a high towering shot held up by the wind coming down to Will Height at his own 40. But he gets a break up the middle. Will Height over the 45 and hauled down. Looked like Gerhardt, Tommy Gerhardt, got his hands on him before he got outside. A 37-yard punt from Osbaldiston, a 7-yard return.
Got a late flag coming. There's a little argument down there. I think that Will Height thought that he had a face mask on him by Kaiser, and he may have been very well right. But you get some objectionable conduct, and it goes back against the Ottawa Rough Riders. Very important. You can be as physical, you can be as loud.
Necessary roughness. Ottawa, number 21. First down.
But what you have to be is discipline. You have to be able to control that anger that you have. Now take a look right at the end. The face mask took place just a little later. He thought maybe that he had a piling on call. Now they're going to get into the tussle.
And it was Dave Denal, number 21, getting into the rough stuff and called for rough play. So Ottawa will be back at its own 32-yard line as Archer fakes to Mills, goes down the middle, and is picked off! Justin Ring, the rookie, brings it back to the 30-yard line, and a huge turnover for the Cats. David Archer picked off here on the opening play of their second drive, and Hamilton will take over in good position.
The most colorful part of a football game is winning, especially when you play the BF Goodrich TA Show 'em Your True Colors football contest. Watch the CFL on CBC and you could win a set of 4 BF Goodrich TA tires or be eligible for our grand prize, a fabulous trip for 4 to the 1996 Grey Cup. Just call 1-900-870-2728. Guess who's going to win and by how much? You could really come through with flying colors when you play the BF Goodrich TA Show 'em Your True Colors football contest.
My photographs are simple. My own rule is not to have rules. A day in the life of Macklin. Pick up all my gear. No. Yes, I just know what I want when I see it. I am an independent person. Some people just say I'm odd. I'm an individual.
CIBC Personal Vision Convenience. To see how we can help you easily design a bank account tailored to your individual needs, call us.
I'm lucky enough to have been able to make my choices.
At CIBC, we're working to see what you see.
Today I'm off on the Audio Warehouse cellular search. With my new cell phone from Audio Warehouse, your SASTA Mobility Center, I'm searching for someplace I can't get great cellular coverage. Great coverage so far. It's still working. It's a cell phone, get it? So there you have it. If you're looking for serious cellular coverage, the search ends at Audio Warehouse, your SaskTel Mobility Center.
Mom, you'll never guess where I am.
Cold water on the Archer offense on that last interception, his 11th of the year.
Watch Ring right here. David Archer doesn't even see him as he makes the play. He comes by, picks it off. Good interception, goes high. Looks the ball in. Then he makes a good return on it, sets it up 1st and 10 for Cavillo on the 41.
Anthony Cavillo in the shotgun, bobbles the snap, lots of time in the pocket. Now he's got some pressure. Obi Spanik hauling down Cavillo with the sack, but Cavillo had all kinds of time but couldn't make up his mind.
Ottawa's secondary does a good job of disguising their defenses, confuses Cavillo slightly, tries to sprint out. Nothing happening downfield. Now he's got to scramble, but Spanik does a good job. Good containment, gets upfield on the outside shoulder, makes the sack.
2nd and 14. The Ticats now on the edge of field goal range. Pass to Earl Winfield, and he can't hang on to it. The Pearl Winfield, the veteran with 85 career touchdowns in the top 10 in the CFL, and that was uncharacteristic.
Something that you will not see of Earl Winfield. Missing a pass like that, an easy catch, goes up high. Good route, runs the curl route inside the zone, just doesn't look it in.
Huge play for the Ottawa defense. Forces Hamilton into a punting situation. Osbaldiston standing back at his own 50. Will Height and Gordon back to receive for Ottawa. 7-0 Riders leading here in the first quarter. This Ottawa defense coming into this game, the overall stats, one of the worst in the league, but in the last 2 games, one of the best. Some saying as good as the Edmonton Eskimo defense in the last 2 weeks, Kemp.
Well, they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're playing with a lot of cockiness. And out there, and they're getting it done.
Good punt to Wilhite over the 20. Little dipsy doodle. Gets another break, and finally downed at about the 27-yard line by Darrell Sampson. 34-yard punt into the wind and a 15-yard return by Kenny Wilhite. Wilhite, of course, the all-purpose man for the Riders with over 1,100 yards, returning kicks and punts. And now the Ottawa offensive line. Number 53, Uzuma Okiki on the left side. One of 3 imports on that Ottawa offensive line. Used to be that all Canadians played that position, but the reduced import quota, the Americans now beefing up the O-line. The give now around the right side. That was Daniels, Sean Daniels, with not much room.
Gonzalo Floyd, since coming over from the Calgary Stampeders to the Ticat defense, has really been inspirational. Coach Don Southern has said this guy has elevated the play, particularly of Jesse Small and also of Mike Campbell, to an extent that he is totally confident with what this defense can do, and he even is a little more that he likes to gamble on his defense.
Ticats patching this team together all season. 11 starters out. We're talking broken legs, broken arms, broken hips, and concussions. Archer with lots of time down the middle, but he sails that one, intended for number 82, Willie Hinchcliffe, and so the Riders will be forced to punt. Last week, we saw the same thing with Archer. When he had the wind, his balls tended to sail.
Take a look, KK, that we're talking about. This is Jesse Small, does a good job. Look how he stays with him, rides him right upfield, outside the pocket, allows David Archer to step up in there, make the throw without being hassled.
Wayne Lamely, the punt for Ottawa, standing at his own 12-yard line. He's got a 41.3-yard average, and he's got a good gale behind him here, left to right on your screen. Lamely, far side to Greg, the Canadian. Side steps Denal, but can't get away, and there's a flag on the play.
Late flag, which from the position that it was thrown, it could be an illegal block against Ottawa. Let's see what the call is.
Holding the call. Sammy Brennan making the tackle for Ottawa, the kid from Pembroke. Had a year of eligibility left in college. Wasn't even drafted. Showed up for a tryout here in Ottawa. And Leo Cahill said, kid, you got
Hamilton,
a future.
Number 33, first down.
The Cats getting called. Looked like an illegal block.
Bill Sampson, the defensive back. Now look just in the back. He's trying to slow up to see if he can. Gets his hands on. You can see a little bit of cloth that he's pulling from David Denal. And there he got caught. Moved it back 10 yards.
The Cats will scrimmage at their own 30. Cavillo in the shotgun formation. A little over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cavillo bails out and will run with the ball. And he'll have the first down easily as he steps out of touch. Anthony Cavillo. Don Southern telling us one of the pluses in putting him in here today is his mobility. Much more mobile.
That's exactly right. He can come out the field and he can scramble a bit. Mike Kerrigan there in the jacket on the right-hand side of John Jenkins, the offensive coordinator, giving the signals. He's going to be a pocket passer. He's going to stand between the tackles. He's only going to run in dire need if he has to. But Cavillo uses it as an offensive weapon.
And we'll hear from Mike Kerrigan at the half. The player coach who broke Bernie Filoni's all-time passing record last week for the Tiger Cats. Here's Cavillo deep down the middle. Jason Phillips is open, and at the last minute, Kenny Wilhite got back, and he could have picked it off.
Kenny Wilhite made a great break on the ball. The ball hung up into that wind a little bit and allowed him to slide up underneath it, and that's an easy pick. And here's what they do. It's just like in practice.
Give me 10.
Hey, you missed a pick. You give me 10 right now, buddy. And he went down and gave it to the crowd. Take a look. Look how he closes very quickly, ever so slightly.
And that's an example of what they've been saying here in Ottawa. This defense is gambling more, showing receivers to be open, then closing at the last minute, baiting the quarterbacks as Wilhite did there. Cavillo with pressure over the middle, and Ted Long has the catch for a first down. Frank West reeling in Ted Long, part of that receiving core that came in from Birmingham when the Ticats tried to set up Matt Dunnigan with his old receiving core.
Jason Jakovich comes over on the safety blitz from the outside. Cavillo knows he's got man-to-man coverage. Long does a good job to get inside the receiver, and that quick release of Cavillo allowed that play to take place.
Long will start in the backfield, but he is what they call a super back, or a receiving back for the Cats. The pump fake from Cavillo. Wants to go deep down the far side. And it's Mac Cody. Mac Cody with the catch in behind the coverage of Wilhite.
Now this is set up all the way to make you think that it's going to be a hitch screen to Winfield on the outside. Cody comes out like he's going to block, sets up the block. Now he's going to do what you say. He's going to wheel. He turns up. He gets behind Wilhite. And Cavillo has enough time, throws the ball on the money. Big play for Hamilton.
Mac Cody, the featured performer on this Ticat offense, the leading receiver with 828 yards coming into this game. Cavillo now working well into the wind, pumps again and goes deep, but Winfield trips, and the ball sails far over the head of the defender Tommy Henry on the play. Anthony Cavillo showing good arm strength here, missing 6 weeks of action with that pulled hamstring.
Kind of situation that he really doesn't want to get into a lot of times, so it's 2nd and long against this Ottawa defense.
Ticats now threatening. 2nd and 10 on the Ottawa 25-yard line. Cavillo in the shotgun. Moves left, pump fake, goes back to the right side, has a break in the pocket, tries to go over the middle, and it's knocked down. Joe Merrill. Looked like Joe Merrill, the man on the spot, with a tip. And that will force the Ticats into a field goal situation.
Take a look now. He wants to take it to the house, into the end zone quickly. Again, good coverage by Ottawa, and it looks like he wants to force that. It looked like to me from that angle in the end zone that he had some speed, that he could have gotten outside, maybe picked up that first down on the scramble, but he decided to try to force the ball in. Frank West did a really good job of knocking that ball away.
Listed as a backup, but getting some early action here for Ottawa. The field goal attempt from Osbaldiston, 32 yards out. And he's dead to center. And good. The Ticats closing the gap to 4. It's Ottawa 7, Hamilton 3 in the first quarter. Yard kickoff, and look at the crowd. Doesn't that look healthy here in Ottawa at Frank Clair Stadium?
It's exciting to see. This is a city thick with tradition, and these people are really rising to the challenge and to the occasion this afternoon.
Ottawa fans, 28,000 here 2 weeks ago. That big win. Now they're going to be close to 28 here. Haven't had crowds like that since '85. Troy Mills with the carry up the middle, and this time Hamilton sniffed that one out. Mike Philbrook, the Canadian from Carleton University, in on the tackle. Troy Mills, what a story. Had knee surgery last year, coming into this game with barely 10 days of preparation. 2,000 yards, rushing and receiving 2 years ago in Sacramento with the Gold Miners and David Archer. Archer this time to Andre Bolduc. The quick, hot right and a good catch.
This is where David Archer is so valuable. Quick read, good solid release, gets the ball up high and in throwing position very quickly. Bolduc makes a good move off the line of scrimmage, gets inside, the ball's there, first down, and keeps this drive alive with the win.
Bolduc, Canadian slot back, drawing comparisons to Gerald Wilcox. Big, strong receiver. Troy Mills! Did he hit that hole? Once again, Gerhardt making the tackle. What appears to be a game of cat and mouse between these two players. Mills with all kinds of room off the left side.
Take a look at the bullet. Just a counter there with James Monroe. Also, Stevenson coming around, and there is Troy Mills. Gets the handoff inside, that quick burst of speed.
Same play this time. Mills elects to go outside and is tripped up by Justin Ring, or he could have had more. Troy Mills putting on a one-man show for the Riders here early. Ottawa fans in large numbers supporting this football team, as you mentioned off the top. Leo Cahill saying it's becoming more and more of a social thing to come to football games. And that's good for the Riders. Dumped off the Mills. There's a flag on the play, and he trips over the yard stripe.
I think we're going to get a holding against Ottawa. Bring that play back. But what David wants to do, Archer, is that with this win right now, hurry up offense, try to get as many plays utilizing the win as possible before this quarter ends.
Question you got to ask is Troy Mills in good shape, because he's been carrying the load for this Ottawa offense?
Well, he originally was drafted in the dispersal draft by Calgary, chose not to sign with Calgary because he wanted to rehabilitate his knee. It looks like so far what we're seeing right now.
Illegal block to the head. Ottawa, number 68, decline. Second down.
So Dwayne Arundel with the illegal block to the head. Cats will decline the penalty, making it 2nd down and 8. Ottawa.
Just to finish that thought on Troy, like I said, he decided not to sign with Calgary, wanted to rehabilitate his knee. This is his first game, so you don't know, you know he's in shape, but is he in game playing shape?
Dave Denal into the game now, giving Mills a break. Rogers drops the ball. Does Gordon get it? The Cats say they're on it.
No, Mumford's got it, the big linebacker.
And so Joseph Rogers, who had the touchdown on that opening drive, coughs up the fumble after making the reception from Archer, and it'll be Hamilton football. That's the 2nd turnover now for this Ottawa offense.
Hitch screen back to the weak side, comes back in, he catches the ball, makes a good catch, now gets up, makes a good move against Ring. The ball just slips right through his hands. 84 as Gordon comes in there, but Mumford, the linebacker, said, hey, there's no way, you're not getting this ball. The big guy takes it away from the receiver.
Justin Ring, the rookie Canadian, getting his hand on Rogers' arm and appeared to pry that ball loose. And so Rogers goes back to the bench to contemplate that one. Riders giving the ball to Hamilton at their own 39-yard line. Here's Cavill rolling right, releases it to Matt Cody. He can move. Cody now surrounded by 4 Ottawa tacklers, and he goes down heavily. Swift Birch having a word with Matt Cody. What a find he is. I remember 2 years ago, he was in the Winnipeg Blue Bomber training camp, got released, and has found a career, if he wants it, in Hamilton.
This is a swarming defense. They get around you, they make good, solid defensive plays, and they hustle to the ball and gain tackle. That's what made that play. Will Hyde did an excellent job. Cavill having a little trouble getting the ball downfield.
2nd and 7. Cavill with lots of time. Down the middle. Finds Cody again. And he's rocked by Djokovic at the 50 and is slow getting up. Matt Cody, the touchdown leader on this Cat offense with 8.
The big guys up front really doing the job. Take a look at them. Doug Davies, St. John, Blaine Schmidt, giving Cavill good vision down the field and giving him plenty of time to find his #1 receiver, Cody.
Davies, St. John, and Schmidt under orders to perform, or else Sud saying he might add a 3rd American next week if those Canadians don't pull their weight. Saunders with the give up the middle.
It makes you pull the jockstrap up a little tighter and get the job done, because you like that paycheck on Monday morning to come in.
Quarter time at the end of the 1st. It's Ottawa hanging on to a 7-3 lead here at Frank Clair Stadium, where the spirit is back.
Steady. Oh! Car not riding as smoothly as you'd like? Well, suspension trouble could be in your struts, your shock, your springs, or your alignment. So, head over to Midas for a free inspection. They'll show you in writing not just what's wrong, but what needs fixing now and what can wait. That way, you get some choice in the matter. It's better than getting jerked around. Midas, the way it should be. Oh, big fella. Oh.
Even though the Olympics are over, great events continue at SaskTel. The 50-meter dash, the marathon, the SaskTel 15-cent event. Call anywhere in Saskatchewan or Canada for just 15 cents a minute every Wednesday night in September.
This is one of the most amazing things in the world. You can cut it, shape it, fasten it together, make just about anything you want out of it, and be really proud of what you've done. At Home Building Centers, we buy big. with more stores providing building supplies to people all across Canada. No matter how big a job you're facing, we can help you handle it. Home Building Centers, we've got your lumber.
Welcome back to Frank Clair Stadium in Ottawa, where the Riders hold a 7-3 lead, and there are the first quarter stats in this ball game, and it's really close. But turnover's the key.
The big key right there, the interception that David Archer threw to Ring, and also the fumble that took place by Rogers. Those are big turnovers on crucial drives that they had an opportunity going in, and they had some momentum.
Now, will the Ticats capitalize on that turnover? They have the wind at their back and the ball at center field as Cavillo breaks the huddle. Anthony Cavillo in his first start in 6 weeks. Up behind the center. Draws the Ottawa defense offside, and there's a flag on the play. Will it be motion? Will it be offside?
I think they'll get offside against Spanik or Younger. It's either 96 or 56. Both of them are offside. Never know.
Ken Lazarick, referee out of Winnipeg, talking with Cavillo. In an officials conference at center field.
Just that movement that Lazarick did, just that jerking back. Now he's thinking maybe Doug Davies moved that ball a little bit and drew the Ottawa defense offside.
Dwayne Morgan also trying to influence the call. Here it is from Lazarick.
Got to go against Hamilton. They don't like it.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 60, still second down.
You called it, Kep. Procedure on the Cats, moving the ball back now 5 yards to their own 50, and Suds doesn't like that one. Here it is.
Just at the bottom of your screen, the right-hand corner, you see the big tackle. That's Dwayne Morgan. That's 6'3", 300 pounds. It's not hard to miss when he makes a movement.
Like a 747 pulling away from the dock. Second down. Ticats, Cavillo down the middle to Cody, a diving effort, but can't get to it as once again Djokovic puts his helmet in his back. Jason Djokovic, former Blue Bomber, had a stint with the Argos and now thinks he's found a home here in Ottawa.
Take a look how Cody's going to come. He's going to try to work back toward the quarterback Cavillo. The ball is thrown even before he makes that break, just to the outside, and very fortunate that Djokovic did not make that pick on the ball. He played the receiver as opposed to playing the ball. Could have had an interception.
Rider defense forcing the Ticats to punt. There's Osbaldiston at his own 40. Good spiral line drive going back. It's Will Height at his own 6. Coming up through the middle, he's got a seam. Will Height across the 30. Up to center field. Has he got a block? Will Height surrounded though as the Cat special teams got back. And it looked like Tom Gerhardt enough to pull him down, but what a big return from Will Height. 60 yards on a 54-yard punt. And the Riders will have the ball, 1st and 10, with good field position at the 45 of Hamilton.
John Payne said yesterday, I am very excited about my return teams and my coverage team. He said, my field goal, I got a little bit that I'm lacking. But here is one of the reasons why he's so excited. Will Height getting an opportunity to get that ball upfield, put it on the 45 for David Archer.
We saw the Jet, Jimmy Cunningham, and special teams turn that game around for the Argos yesterday. Here's Troy Mills, hot stepping right through the middle of the Ticat defense for a big gain.
This ball game was going to be won in the trenches, whether it's whose offensive line can dominate the other defense. Does a good job getting Floyd outside. Some bad tackling taking place, and Mills, with that exceptional acceleration, hits the hole and gets the ball upfield, going north and south, just like a good back does.
Mills is getting through the front 4 with a head of speed, and that's been trouble for the Ticats. Here he is again. This time, it looked like Philbrick got a hand on him, and Munford brought him down. Michael Philbrick got a hand on him to turn him around into that Ticat lineup.
Michael Philbrick, Brick as his nickname is called, one of the mainstays in the middle of that Hamilton defense along with Campbell. These guys are playing truly inspirational football.